keyboard shortcuts for all this stuff. So, spacebar gives you the grabber hand. You can move around, you can zoom in, you can get really detailed around the edges of this stuff. Double click to close it. All right, now for something a little obscure. Let's ditch this channel I've already saved called Sky. We're going to rebuild it using a different technique. For some images, if you have part of the image that's a very different color than the rest of the image, it's real easy to select it using the magic wand tool. Another way to accomplish the same result is this. Take a look at my channels. I want the channel that gives me the most contrast between what I want selected and what I don't want selected. So I'm just going to run down the channels. Here's the cyan channel. Not very good contrast between the sky and everything else, is there? How about magenta? Nope. How about yellow? Ooh, look at that. The sky's mostly selected, the trees mostly aren't, are they? Well, guess what? Magic Wand Tool works on channels just fine. While in this channel, watch this. Magic Wand Tool, anti-aliased. I'm going to leave contiguous off because I want the sky in among the tree branches, right? And I'm going to click. It won't let me because I don't have a layer selected. Go over here and click on the layer palette. Thank you. Here's how you do this. Got a pretty good selection, but I know I'm going to have to refine it because I have part of the lake selected, right? So I'm going to go back up here to my CMYK composite, click on that tile, go into quick mask mode, and do the stuff we've already covered. Go over here, mask out the stuff I don't want, Shift F5, fill it with black, come up here, use the polygon lasso, Shift F5, fill it with white, deselect, get out of quick mask mode, hit Command H to hide the marching ants, hit delete, see what disappears. That took what, 40 seconds? If I hadn't been flapping my lips, I could have done it in 15 or 20 seconds. Selected the sky, then cleaned it up in 30 to 40 seconds flat. And that's a pretty complex edge selection if you zoom in. So that brings up technique number 4. Look at the channels. See if one of the channels gives you good contrast between what you want to select and what you don't want to select. This is not always a useful technique. Quite often, though, it is. In this particular case, it works great. Now, I still have to go clean it up a little bit because if I zoom in, I'm missing the lighter colored stuff here, aren't I? And my selection is kind of jagged edge. But we already know how to clean that up, don't we? We load the selection, go into Quick Mask, blur it slightly, Command H to hide the marching ants, hit delete, see what disappears. If I want to add to my selection, select, save selection, call it sky, deselect it, get the magic wand and add the stuff that you missed the first time. Go into Quick Mask, paint out all the stuff you don't want. Right now I'm just cleaning up the little bits between the tree branches. So I don't want this, and I don't want any of this. Same stuff I already told you about. Make your gross selection, clean it up. Get out of Quick Mask mode, and I want to add those little bits to what I already have selected, so we go to Select, Load Selection, Sky, add what I now have to what I had before, and I messed it up a bit. Notice I got some stuff down here in the tree selected. Well, instead of going to Quick Mask mode and all the rest to paint it out, I'm just going to use the polygon lasso with the Option key held down. And then when I go back and close the box, that stuff is deselected. Or I could have gone to Quick Mask mode and got some black paint and painted it out. Same exact effect. And now I'm going to go Select, Save Selection, Sky, replace what I had before, save the document. Hit delete, see what disappears. If it's too hard edged, I can go into the quick mask mode and blur the mask a little bit, and then resave the selection. If it's too soft edged, how about sharpening on a quick mask to harden up the edges? Yep, works beautifully. And you already know you can grow, you can expand or contract the selection slightly using the expand and contract commands under the select menu. All right, now for the really esoteric one I told you about a minute ago. Sometimes the channels won't give you good contrast between what you want to select and what you don't want to select. But sometimes two of the channels together will. Isn't that fun? You can't select two of them over here, like this. It just won't let you. I could display two of them at the same time by turning off the eyeballs for all of them except two of them, but that's really useless to me. Here's how you combine more than one channel together to make a selection. And in this case, I'm going to keep this image because I happen to know I've already worked this technique before, so I know the best way to achieve it here. But this is a hit or miss method that takes a lot of practice and a lot of trial and error to get it to work, even after you know how to do it. So, with nothing selected, I'm on the CMYK composite tile in the channels palette. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to choose, always got to go dig for it, I forget where it is. I'm looking for image menu calculations command. This lovely piece of software is very, very difficult to use, but once you've mastered it, it can do incredibly complex selections in a few seconds. Watch this. I want to select the cyan channel and the yellow channel together. That's now what it's displaying on screen, is the cyan and magenta channel. That's not really a good selection, is it? But what if I blended those two channels together using overlay? Pretty good rough selection, isn't it? What it's going to do, after I tell it, I want the cyan channel and the yellow channel blended together, and you can play with the different blending modes to see what works. Unfortunately, I can't say use X, it always works. It depends on what colors you've got. It depends on what's in the image, what you're trying to select, and which of the channels you pick here to merge together. Quite often, overlay between two channels that almost give you good selections, together will give you a great selection. I still have to clean it up though, obviously. So, calculations command, under the image menu, it's right there. We're going to choose cyan and yellow, and I'm going to overlay them together as the blending mode, but I don't want a new channel, I want a selection. You can save it as a new channel and you've created your selection, right? But if I choose selection here, it won't save it as a channel yet because I need to clean it up. I'm going to hit OK. I now need to clean it up because if I hit Command H to hide the marching ants and hit delete, I've got a lot of the lakes selected that I don't want, and I'm missing quite a bit of the sky. Now here's something though about this. If I do replace the sky, I also want to replace part of the water, don't I? So that the reflection looks good. So having the water partially selected like it is now, you notice it only partially disappeared, may not be a bad thing. But right now I'm just going to concentrate on the sky. So we're going to undo this. Going to go to quick mask mode. Undo the delete, I should say. Polygon lasso. Double click to close the end. Fill it with white. Shift F5. Helps if I hit the right keyboard command. Shift F5. Fill it with white. Select down here. Shift F5. Fill it with black. Deselect. Get out of quick mask mode. Command H to hide the marching ants. And I already see a few things I need to clean up. Everybody see what it's doing to the tree right here? Here, let me zoom in. See, I've got part of the tree selected. So, that's why we do the delete thing, to see what we have selected. Go back here, quick mask mode. I'm going to go right underneath the sky.